Good evening, everyone. Everyone, please rise. We'll be led in prayer by Alderman Grant Neuendorf.
Almighty God, we ask you for your blessing upon the members of this council as we assemble here in this chamber to conduct the ongoing business of our city. With your guidance, we will strive to ensure that all our decisions are for the common good, and your inspiration will instill respect, compassion, and thoughtfulness in all our deliberations. Give us the strength and wisdom to lead by example as the people's representatives, and that peace and harmony will mark all our proceedings and keep us faithful to the trust placed in us by the citizens of your community. Amen.
Amen. Alderwoman Stacey Gould, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Citizen Comment General.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, I would declare that Citizen Comment General is open. It is an opportunity to address any issue before the City Council not on our agenda, and it's a period of time for 30 minutes. Each person will have 3 minutes. I do have a sign-up sheet. I'm going to begin at the top of that. Please, again, state your name and address for the record at the microphone. Thank you so much. John Rankowitz, please.
John Shane Rinkowitz Jr., 23 Michelle Drive, Norwich, Connecticut, 06360. Here we go again with the Norwich City Council making their own final decisions and not listening to the residents of Norwich. Number one, you received grant money a while back, and now you are getting ridiculous about spending it. The residents in Ockham did not want the industrial park. Here we go with the mayor, Nystrom, and also the city council promoting it. Use what you have to straighten out the one in Norwich Town. Well, I guess what will be more, there'll just be more vacant buildings again. Number two, the ARPA funding and projects, money that was given, money spent was only spent by your choice. Many individuals voiced their concerns to you, and it fell on deaf ears. They had reasonable suggestions about promoting downtown Norwich, and you did not really listen. I think it's really a shame that our suggestions never get promoted. Why even spend our time and energy and have the I don't care attitude? Well, I guess we have to look forward to more cannabis and gun stores that I heard that are being set up in Norwich. It seems like anything would be done to help promote business in Norwich. What a way to make money. Again, you better get started about notifying people of what is happening in Norwich. People still need to be informed of meetings on a monthly basis. This way they can be updated and express their concerns. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Frederick Browning.
Hello. I want to keep my remarks, I want to keep, Frederick Browning, 671 Scotland Road. I want to keep my remarks very brief, so if the council will agree, could I just give you the full length of my speech, and so you can look at it rather than me exceed my time? Would that be okay?
Look forward to reading it.
Okay, thank you. In any case, can I just approach, just hand it up, or? Thank you so much. So as we know, we have the citizens of the town have continued concerns over Business Park North, and we appreciate that the City Council reflected on it at a previous meeting, and in fact, I think we're still thinking about it with the 3-3 vote. It appears to be a very difficult decision in terms of weighing the interests of tax revenue versus the interest of people living in the neighborhood. As representatives of the Norwich Association called Preserving Norwich Neighborhoods, we are writing to express our concern over the past development plans connected to Business Park North in Norwich. The attempt to change the site zoning, as well as the last concept maps by Bowler Engineering, showed a business park dominated by enormous buildings
Thank you.
placed in close proximity to residential areas. In several cases, parking lots and warehouses would be mixed into residential areas behind Canterbury Turnpike, Lawler Lane, and Scotland Road. The last design of the park included a potentially dangerous traffic circle near a steep hill on Canterbury Turnpike and direct truck access onto Lawler Lane to service building sites 9, 10, and 11. Lastly, it should be obvious that pre-existing plans maximize both development and impact on local residents. The plans and proposed zoning changes do not match the character of the pre-existing neighborhoods around them. It is with these truths in mind that Preserving Norwich Neighborhoods would like to propose the following changes to the next version of the park and zoning overlay. I would like to bring up one or two of the 9 topics. Number one, in the case of, I think, Building 9, what astounded me was the size. So behind the Mormon church on Scotland Road, a building depicted as 750 feet by 680 feet appeared. This replaced an original design, which was about 270,000 square feet, which is roughly light only air. Let me give you a quick reference point. You know what else has a sign which is 750 feet long? The Great Pyramid of Cheops. Okay, the Great Pyramid of Cheops is 755 by 755. You can go all the way around the base. You are dropping a building equivalent in size, 500,000 square feet, into a neighborhood which, whoa, okay, so can I do like one last sentence? Okay, so in terms of area, the character of the area, that's a great concern. One other point, which is very specific to my family. A solar field that appeared on one side of our farm is also extremely close, probably 150 feet away from our drinking well. The way that you control vegetation on a solar field is using industrial strength herbicide. There's only 2 ways for that herbicide to go. One is to our well and the other is Byron Brook. And the application rate is, I think, 30 gallons an acre. Okay, so I'm on well water, and look, I'm older, but my daughter's just graduated from NFA. I would really not like them drinking a product like Total Weed Control, which is pretty much Roundup on steroids. I mean, it's Roundup, NC-17 Roundup. That's what they apply on solar fields. So there's a proposal, I think maybe 8 or 9 on this list. In any case, thank you for your time. I'm sorry I exceeded my time.
Thank you, sir. Jan Swain?
Aye, sorry.
Jan Swain, 506 Canterbury Turnpike in Norwich. And I know that everything got shot down last time and you have to go back to the drawing board. And when we go back to the drawing board, everything does not become black and white. We have black and we got white. And I would hope that somewhere along the line through all of this, we could all come together and find the gray area and find a solution that benefits both sides. Nobody's going to win everything that they're asking for, but if we could compromise on a lot of these issues, we can get this done a lot quicker.
Thank you very much. Those are the 3 people who did sign up. If someone else would like to speak between now and the end of the time period, Mr. Witt, please.
Charlie Witt, 511 Canterbury Turnpike, Norwich, Connecticut. I wanted to address a couple issues with you, if you could. Something that's near and dear to my heart. I've worked second shift for 47 years. And to participate in this city, I have to lose a day's pay. Every public hearing, every city council meeting, every informational session is run at night. Why can't we do some of this on a Saturday when everybody in this city is eligible to attend? There are a lot of people that work at Electric Boat who live in Norwich who work second shift. There are a lot of people who work at the casinos who live in Norwich and work second shift. It'd just be appropriate that we could put some time forth for these people to attend and participate in this city. The second thing I want to talk about is Mr. Brown's letter. I stand in full support of that letter. I have abut one of the pieces of this property, and I think it's horrible what we went through and had to go through. And like Jan said, we should come together and come up with a solution that is agreeable to everybody. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. I saw a hand. Yes, Deb?
Good evening. My name is Deborah Lieben. I reside at 560 Boswell Avenue in Norwich, but I am the co-owner of my father's home, William Adams, at 200 Old Canterbury Turnpike, which he has proudly owned for 65 years, and he currently is living there at 98 years old. We have grown up next to the Tarrick farm. I babysat the Tarrick children, and I know that beautiful, pristine piece of property very well. And looking through some of the records here, talking about what's happening up there, it said that 184 of the acres were buildable, 200 were untouched, and 90 acres were wetlands. I also saw where solar panels were part of the plan. As Mr. Browning had said about the dangerous chemicals in there, I did a little more information here over the last few days, and I had found, when looking up on solar panels, that studies have shown that heavy metals in solar panels, namely lead and cadmium, can reach out of the cells and get into the ground, as well as affect plants and have a detrimental effect on human health. And so that poses a question to all the residents who have wells, which my father does have, and as well as the fragile area of Brian Buck. Solar panels are only operating a lifespan about 20 to 30 years. And so many of the solar panels that are currently out there are reaching the end of their lifespan. Another possible problem with this development is that in 20 or 30 years, these are going to probably need to be displaced. They'll be at the end of their lifespan. To properly dispose of toxic metals inside the solar cells, there's an oversight, and it's often cheaper to just discard them in landfills or send them to developing countries. So I'm not opposed to development. I agree with others who had said I think we can reach some compromises here, but I'm very concerned about that land because it's pristine land. Once it gets destroyed or once these things get in there, there's no turning back on this. We're not going to be able to turn this around. So I would really hope we would think more about that and also think about the traffic on these streets. They were never designed to carry large trucks. These were rural neighborhoods. And I love this neighborhood. I plan to, when my father's no longer with us, to move back to my family home. And I would like to see some reasonable development there with safeguards protecting borders for my fellow neighbors to make sure that they are protected. And I think we can come to a good compromise if we do work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, please.
I'm Susan Jacobson, 256 Laurel Lane. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak to all of you tonight. I had to write it down because I get very nervous. I'm grateful that the Business Park North didn't pass as it was originally presented, and I'm really quite hopeful that we can work together in an open and respectful way and come to something. We know something's going to happen. We know that something's going to be built there, and we hope that we can work together and do it in a respectful way. There are so many points of concern for me regarding this project of the business park. But what's heavy on my heart tonight is our neighborhoods and our families. And I would ask you to please keep in mind that we want to be families. We want to be in a neighborhood. I just want to be able to breathe and enjoy. And I think that's probably about everything that I have to say. But thank you again for letting me speak.
Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Excuse me. I'm Nicole Santerre from 452 Canterbury Turnpike, and I've lived there for 50 years, a little more or less, but I plan to end my life there. I don't think I could live with the construction, and the end result is there will be no more neighborhood. That really bothers me. A good deal of the people on Canterbury Turnpike have been there a long time like me, are in my age group. We don't need this in our lives right now. And I don't see how it would be that beneficial to the residents of Arkham or Norwich. The other industrial park didn't do much for anybody and still isn't. So I think that we ought to try to reach compromises to put up the best possible thing that can be put there without hurting and destroying an entire neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you. Would also like to join us at this time at the general citizen comment. Oh, please.
Reiner Beckman, 210 Old Canterbury Turnpike. I just wanted to bring up a couple points, one on safety in terms of the traffic, and one of my fears that I haven't expressed yet. It's been a couple years, like I just started riding my bike around the neighborhood about a year and a half ago. The reason for that is because my grandmother's sister was hit and killed in front of our house. She was hit on a crystal clear November morning. The girl went around the turnaround, so it's not like she was flying up Canterbury Turnpike, and she died a month later. One day when I was sitting out on the lawn, also in the 90s, a woman was racing up the road, sideswiped a telephone pole, sent glass flying all over me. So you guys need to get it right, because what happened in 2015 is the zoning was changed. There were no signs, we didn't get letters. I don't think there's anything in the newspaper, because my neighbor reads the newspaper every single day and then gives it to me the next day. So you guys really need to get this right, because that's not satisfactory at all, to say the least, to be kind. And I know it's not your fault, but it's your responsibility to get this right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, please.
Hi, Bonnie Canova, 233 Old Canterbury Turnpike. Artie Trudell was also killed on the top of that hill. But I just want to keep this brief. I've lived there for 57 years. We all have alarm system in our houses because we've all been broken into. Jeff Compesta, who's not here tonight, recently was broken in and his son's dirt bike was stolen. I have an alarm system I've been broken into. Ronnie and Nikki have been broken in while he was home. I mean, even now, with the sandbanks and the kids down there doing stuff, I mean, I just can't imagine what's going to happen when you have, you know, trucks and truck stops and they're going to sleep in their trucks and, you know, I don't know what the answer is, but we've always known that something is going to go there. I mean, you know, I've also known the Terex because Gene and I were best friends. I lived across the street from them. You know, they were going to put a dump in and that fell through, and we always have known then. I mean, we all were thrilled when they were going to do the golf course. And, you know, that was going to be good for our property, you know, and, you know, I guess we really never thought that an industrial park would go up there. I mean, that's just going to ruin our neighborhood. Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council at this time? Please. Yep.
Hi, my name is Christine Poulos. I'm at 416 Canterbury Turnpike. I also am a part of this Norwich saving the industrial park, you know, the committee or whatever. And I just have to say too that I do work downtown Norwich. I do social work, and my office is right outside the roundabout. So I witnessed the shooting that happened a few months ago. I witness fights all the time. I witness just all the traffic, and it's just very unsafe. If they could have a camera down there, that might be helpful, because when that shooting did happen, I had to hid under my desk for a couple of hours. They couldn't find the person that did the shooting, and it was very scary. And I've been at my job for 10 years, so I didn't want to transfer to another office. Plus, they need me in our satellite office. So that's a big concern on the roundabout, because I actually witness, you know, every single day the drama that happens right outside the roundabout. So putting it on Canterbury Turnpike, which is very close to the house that I live at, I just would assume that it would create a lot of drama, a lot of traffic, and I just don't think it would be safe. On top of that, like everybody has said, you are gonna do something with the money. You guys were given the money, so it'd be nice if we could all come up with a plan together so that it'd be beneficial for all of us. I will say maybe a Starbucks, because the one, you know, downtown, not downtown, but the one on Main Street is very busy. There's a school there, there's always traffic, and you always feel like you're gonna get hit when you're, you know, getting your refresher before you go to work. So maybe that would work, I don't know. Thank you for your time. God bless.
Thank you. Please.
Good evening, Sheila Hayes, 382 Laurel Hill Avenue. I am shifting the conversation just a little bit, and this probably deals more with public safety, but I have been in conversation with Lottie B. Scott, who lives on Church Street, and I myself leaving out of her house. The parking that is happening on both sides of the road in front of the fire hydrant is really getting out of control. I know she was very concerned this past weekend, as there was cars parked on both sides Friday night and Saturday night. The other item is that traffic. There are big signs that say "Do not enter" to go up Church Street. 3 times within the past 2 weeks, I've almost gotten into an accident taking Lottie to an appointment where cars just insist they're going to come up Church Street. And all of a sudden, it's like it's just been happening more and more. So I don't know what can be done to address that issue, but I mean, I literally one day I had to just stop and make a car turn around because we were going to hit each other if he continued up the road. So I'm just saying to you that area is becoming more and more dangerous. With the traffic, with the cars being parked there, and there is concern, it is a residential area. If something was to happen, the city might find it difficult to get there to rescue. I know fire she's concerned about, and if the police had to arrive, that there would be difficulty in getting down Church Street because of the parking and the cars coming up it. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else had that? Yes, yes, sir.
Kevin Brown, NCDC 66 Franklin Street. I really just came to listen tonight, but I wanted to take the opportunity to say that, you know, after what's been 4 months of kind of incendiary language back and forth, maybe on both sides of this, it's very encouraging to hear people say that we should be working together to find a conciliatory way ahead on this thing. And that's what we intend to do as well. Just 3 things I'll address that I have heard tonight. Number 1, the Great Pyramid is 460 feet tall, 6 times higher than any building that we might grow.
Yeah,
Second,
excuse me, please, let's not do that.
Second item is, if I have to tell my team one more time to get rid of the truck stop, they'll all be fired. We're not going to have a truck stop, okay? There's not going to be a truck stop. And lastly, the solar fields are a highly negotiable matter in this. To be perfectly honest, this entire, and we've talked about this in here, but this business master plan is exactly that. It's just a master plan, and it will end up getting refined and brought back, either to the CCP or potentially on the off occasion when it requires it to come back to the zoning commission. Those things on that map right now are placeholders, and so all of this discussion that we've all been having for 4 months can be, as many of the people here tonight have said, considered and discussed going forward. So there is a way ahead, and specific to the solar fields, those were filling available space in that business master plan where a building could not go. And if that's a serious enough concern, it's easily addressable. Frankly, there's probably more solar fields displayed on that than we would ever have attempted to build out in the first place. So I just offer that as my side of this somewhat conciliatory and collaborative conversation that everybody is suggesting that we can have. There are ways that we can move forward, and I look forward to doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes. Well, is anyone who is still here that had not had a chance to speak, because there's about 5 minutes left, anyone still here that has not spoken, give them an opportunity? Okay, no one else is raising their hand.
I just have a question.
Please.
A couple of years ago, my dad, Debbie Lehman, 560 Boswell, heard some gunshots from his home at 200 Old Canterbury Turnpike. And he called 911 because he was concerned about the shooting. And I'm just interested to know, when he called the 911 number, he was told that there's a police shooting range down there, and many times the police at night are shooting. I was just curious if that is true. No, I mean, he's older, so you know what I mean? He might have misunderstood, but he did hear gunshots, and he was told that not to worry, that sometimes, I mean, I'm not trying to cause controversy at all. I'm just, that's what he said he heard. I wasn't there. That's what he said to me in the phone call. So I was just wondering if there was any kind of other stuff like that down in the gravel bank.
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge?
Nowhere in the city.
Yeah, not sanctioned by the city.
Okay, all right, I'm just curious. Well, then maybe somebody else is down.
I can second that. I've heard the gunshots, though.
Well,
I've heard the gunshots. I just want to...
Okay.
I mean, it's just a question that I thought afterwards.
I hear them on Laurel Hill, too. I mean, it does happen. Chief, did you have your hand up?
There's no gun range in the sandbags.
I didn't think so.
We haven't shot there over 60 years, probably.
This is the police chief, Pat Daly.
Oh, okay.
He's here this evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like I said, he could have heard backfiring. I mean, he was just concerned. He's not-
No, there are poachers up there. There are people who lawfully discharge firearms. We train as the Norwich Fish and Game. Thank you for the members of the audience. Letting us use your facilities. We use our rifles in pride. You don't shoot in the sandbags.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who has not had a chance to address the council at this time? Can anyone else like to address the council at this time? Again, anyone else like to address the council at this time on any issue? Seeing no one else, then I declare general citizen comment closing. Thank you all, and look forward to further discussions.
Adoption of minutes, March 6, 2023.
Thank you. At this time, I'd ask for a motion, please, to bring this forward. Alderwoman Gould, second. Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion on the adoption of the minutes? Seeing none, then roll call, please.
Alderwoman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. The motion to adopt the minutes on March 6 passes 6-0. Thank you.
Public hearing, number 1, an ordinance appropriating $2.5 million for the cost of the design and construction of lead copper service line replacement program in the city of Norwich, authorizing the issues of bonds for $2,500,000 revenue bonds of the city secured solely by water revenue to meet said appropriation, and authorizing the city and Department of Public Utilities to enter into grant and loan agreements and a joint resolution with the state of Connecticut with respect hereto.
Thank you. At this time, I declare this public hearing open on ordinance number 1. And at this time, I ask if anyone's wishing to address the council. And our city clerk also has a memo to read at this time.
City of Norwich, the Honorable Mayor and all the persons of the Council of City of Norwich. An ordinance appropriating $2,500,000 for the cost and design and construction of lead copper service line replacement program in the City of Norwich, and authorizing the issuance of $2.5 million revenue bonds of the city secured solely by water revenue to meet said appropriation, and authorize the city and Department of Public Utilities to enter into grant and loan agreements and a joint resolution with the state of Connecticut with respect hereto. The Commission on the City Plan at its February 21st, 2023 hybrid regular meeting reviewed and discussed the above reference referral. Seated were Frank Manfredi, Kathy Wazika, Michael Lehan, and Ella Miles. After careful consideration, the Commission voted unanimously to forward a favorable recommendation stating the ordinance is in accordance with recommendations of the Plan of Conservation of Development. Frank Manfredi, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, at this time, Mr. LaRose, you signed up to address the council.
Chris LaRose, General Manager, Norwich Public Utilities. Back in early 2022, I was here looking for planning money for replacement of lead and copper lines. And this was the first phase, $500,000, to assess what we have in our system and to create plans to start removing and replacing lead service lines. Any home that was built before 1978 potentially has a lead service line serving that home. Back in the 80s, funding was available for NPU to replace lead service lines from the main to the curb. We believe we have the vast majority of that taken care of on the NPU side. The funding we're looking forward for today covers the customer-owned side of this. This is from the curb line into the meter inside the basement of the home. So this is something that the state has never funded in the past, and they have provided us an authorization of $600,000 to start this through the Bond Commission. This $2.5 million is looking like it's going to be up to 75% grant. Unheard of numbers with the Drinking Water State Revolving Fund. So very high grant opportunities, and we want to take advantage of this while it's available. This may not be available in 2 or 3 years down the road, and all of these services need to be replaced. So hopefully we'll be able to get this moving forward and help our customers to remove the lead lines that are feeding their homes.
Thank you, sir. Senators, I speak in favor of this ordinance. Again, this is the ordinance dealing with the removal of lead for individual residents and such. Does anyone like to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anyone else like to speak in favor of this ordinance at this time? Anyone else like to speak in favor at this time? Seeing no one else, I would ask, is there anyone here in opposition who would like to address the council of this ordinance at this time? The floor is yours, sir.
Good evening. Rodney Boyd, 62 Roosevelt Avenue, Norwich. I note in this ordinance that the cost of replacing lead lines is going to be paid by the customers. As a customer myself, I think I've had just a little bit too much of this particular item. I know something about lead, and
I agree with anybody that says that the lead should be removed from all the pipes in this city. But I think that $2.5 million to start with is just a bit of a jump. I would like to see this cut in half, at least. Cut in half. We don't need that much for planning. I assume that the utilities knows where the pipes are in the ground. If they don't, I know how to test them. I think they'd use their better judgment to repair whatever they have and get along with this particular item. I think the utility spends way too much money on all kinds of projects, if not only just to keep them busy. So, in order to get industry or people into the city, you have to keep the cost lower. And right now, even a paltry sum of money winds up costing a whole bunch when you add the sewage fee and other incident items onto the bill. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else like to speak in opposition to the ordinance at this time? Anyone like to speak in opposition at this time? Anyone else in opposition at this time? Seeing no one else, I then declare the hearing closed. Thank you all.
Public hearing 2, relative to participation in a cost-sharing program with the City of Norwich to construct concrete sidewalks.
I declare the public hearing of this open at this time. Anyone wishing to address the City Council on this matter? This is the sidewalk program that the city participates in annually. Yes, please.
Sheila Hayes, 382 Laurel Hill Avenue. I just want to say I applaud the homeowners who want to participate in this program in collaboration with the city to improve the sidewalks. Every year that this comes up, I encourage more and more homeowners to participate in the program because our sidewalks, there are areas in the city that do need their sidewalks addressed. Many people, especially during COVID, went to walking, and it would be nice to be able to walk on most of the sidewalks in the city and get back to having neighbors being able to go out and walk and being able to walk from one end of the city to the other on sidewalks that are safe and level and even. So I applaud those families, the homeowners who have stepped up to take advantage of the cost-sharing program.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the council at this time on the cost-sharing program with sidewalks? Anyone else like to address the council at this time? Anyone else like to address the council at this time? Third and final request. If anyone would like to address the council at this time concerning the sidewalk program, seeing no one else, I declare the hearing closed. Thank you.
Second and possible action on ordinance number 1. An ordinance appropriating $2,500,000 for the cost of the design and construction of a lead copper service line replacement program in the city of Norwich, authorizing the issuance of $2.5 million revenue bonds of the city to secure solely by water revenue to meet said appropriation, and authorizing the city and Department of Public Utilities to enter into grant and loan agreements and a joint resolution with the state of Connecticut with respect hereto.
Thank you. At this time, I'd ask for a motion, please bring this forward. Alderwoman Gould, second. Alderwoman Berto. Are there any questions, members? Mr. LaRose, could you discuss the issue of the remaining 25%? You mentioned that 75% of this is looking at being a grant.
Yes, so the remainder would be borne by the ratepayers of the water system.
All ratepayers?
All ratepayers.
Not the individual one receiving the lead?
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, Alderman Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Do we have like, because some people ask like how much it will really cost them in dollar amount, like is it?
So our rates will cover the first phase. We will be doing a cost of service study. We'll see where the rates come out for the next phases. The overall estimate is over $5 million for this project. Right now, we're asking for $2.5 million. That's what the state has said they will fund at the first phase.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And there are over 5,000 unknown services. That's where we're doing our assessment right now. All services before 1978. We have great records on the NPU side. On the customer side, the records were never maintained that well because we did not own the infrastructure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Further questions, members? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Thank you. Motion passes 6-0. The ordinance is adopted.
Petition and communication. A report from the Commission on the City Plan of the City of Norwich pursuant to Section 8-24 of the Connecticut General Statutes and Chapter 15, Section 4 of the Norwich City Charter regarding an ordinance appropriating $2.5 million for the cost of the design and construction of a lead copper service line replacement program in the City of Norwich, authorizing the issuance of $2.5 million revenue bonds to meet said appropriation solely by water revenue to meet said appropriation, and authorizing the city and Department of Public Utilities to enter into grant and loan agreements with a joint resolution with the state of Connecticut with respect hereto.
Thank you. I would entertain a motion, please, so that this report could be received. Alderman Singh, second by Alderman Berto. Is there discussion on the motion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Thank you. The motion passes 6-0. The resolution is adopted, or motion's adopted.
Number 2, an explanation of resolution regarding the transfer of certain real estate, motor vehicle, and personal property taxes into the suspense account.
Thank you. At this time, as for a motion for us to accept this, Alderwoman Berto, second Alderman Gould. Any discussion, questions on this report from Josh? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes?
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. City Manager's report.
This is the city manager's report for March 20th, 2023. Meetings attended were the Southeastern Council of Governments, Executive Committee meeting, Southeastern Area Transit, School Construction meeting, Connecticut Conference of Municipalities, NPU City Coordination meeting, Connecticut Interlocal Risk Management Agency Board of Directors meeting, and the NCDC Board of Directors meeting. I also had the pleasure of participating as a judge at the Rotary Four-Way Speech Contest that was held at Norwich Free Academy. Governor Lamont announced an $11.3 million grant for the Norwich Community Development Corporation to fund a new access road and utility installation and upgrades for the 384-acre Business Park North in Ockham. This will provide an opportunity to grow the city's tax base by attracting new businesses to our community, which will also provide new jobs. Adult and Family Services is collaborating with Madonna Place for Norwich residents who may need support with the client intake process and schedule appointments for the basic needs and/or training assistance. This spring recreation program book will be released this week. Summer camps will offer a very deep discount for Norwich youth. Please check the city's website, norwichct.org, for more information. The Rose City Senior Center is hosting a free seminar for those that are new to Medicare on April 10th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Please call 860-889-5960 to register. The Community Development Advisory Committee will meet next week for the PY 49 presentation in the lower level conference room of 23 Union Street. The 2023 Neighborhood Assistance Act program proposal applications are available through the State of Connecticut Department of Revenue Services and the city's website. The city manager's office will be accepting applications until June 1st, 2023, with a public hearing scheduled for June 19th to ensure that the applications can be submitted to the state before the July 1st deadline. And finally, I want to give a thank you to the Norwich Events Organization and volunteers for the annual St. Patrick's Parade, which was held downtown on March 5th. The city's planning director, Deanna Rhodes, served as one of the grand marshals, along with the longtime Norwich bulletin photographer, John Shishmanian. Attached also is the fire chief's report from the February 23rd meeting. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you, John. I would like to add two items. One, on Saturday at 11 a.m., we will be acknowledging, recognizing Greek Independence Day, and the Greek flag will be raised at 11 o'clock on the steps of City Hall. We did this last year for the first time, and we'll continue to acknowledge these special observances of a number of the nationalities here in our community. Also want everyone to know tonight was the formal dedication and unveiling of signs and the plaque, because we have renamed the Rose City Senior Center in memory of Jan Stewart, who was our director, who did so much work for the people of the city of Norwich her entire life here. Started out, I think, in 1975 in a little storefront down on Main Street, and grew to that beautiful center on Mahan Drive. Her working then was with State Senator Ken Prisby to secure those state funds. But you will now see her name on all the signs at the Senior Center, a beautiful plaque commemorating her service to the city is there in the hallway now as you walk in as well, and I wanted to share that with everyone as well. Thank you. Are there questions of the city manager? Alderman Singh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. So I just want to add something as well. Our drug-free communities coordinator for City of Norwich, Hannah Orban, has started a cultural chat series, and the first chat will be in regards to Puerto Rican community, and they're doing tomorrow, March 21st, from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. at Seek Art Gallery located at 7 Clinic Drive, and it's a free event open to everyone. Feel free to come in and learn about different culture. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there other questions, statements at this time concerning John's report? Seeing none. Thank you. Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Citizen comment on resolutions.
At this time, I declare citizen comment resolutions to be open. There are 12 resolutions on our agenda this evening, and I invite anyone still remaining with us who wishes to discuss any of those resolutions to do so at this time. Again, please state your name and address at the podium. Is there anyone here wishing to speak to any of the new business resolutions at this time? Anyone wishing to speak to any of the resolutions at this time? Anyone wishing to address the council on new resolutions at this time? Seeing no one, I thank you all. Declare it closed.
Resolution number 1, relative to the sale of beer and wine held at the Howard T. Brown Park for Rock the Docks, 2023.
Thank you. At this time, I ask for a motion, please, to bring this resolution to the floor. Alderwoman Gould, second, Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. Resolution 1 is adopted.
Number 2, relative to the aggregate sum representing personal property taxes on the grand list October 1st, 2019, being transferred to the suspense account.
Motion, please, to bring this forward. Alderwoman Gould, second, please. Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. Thank you. Resolution adopted.
Number 3, relative to placing in the suspense account certain real estate taxes.
Motion, please, to bring this forward. Alderwoman Berto, second, Alderman Singh. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution adopted 6-0. Thank you.
Number 4, relative to the aggregate sum representing the remaining refuge balance being transferred to the suspense account.
Motion, please, to bring it to the floor. Alderwoman Gould, second, Alderman Grant Neuendorf. Is there discussion? Yes, Alderman Singh.
I just have a general question, and actually, I do have a little bit of answer, but it's still confusing. So this suspense account, since how long this amount stays in there? And if it was just 5 year, after 5 year, does it just disappear or?
Counselor, it doesn't disappear. It just goes off the books as a receivable. So we don't want to put receivable bonds that look like they're uncollectible. But we still go out and collect if there's an opportunity to do that. So although we're shifting it from one ledger to another, we haven't given up trying to collect the taxes that are due on that.
And we try that for 15 years?
Yes.
And after that,
Well, it's technically off, but we've collected taxes that are in suspense, but still able to do that. We're able to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Motion passes 6-0. Resolution is adopted.
Number 5, relative to holding a public hearing on June 19, 2023, to review applications and receive comments relative to the Neighborhood Assistance Act.
At this time, I'd ask for a motion, please bring it to the floor. Alderman Singh, second by Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 5 is adopted 6-0.
Resolution 6, relative to accept a roadway as a city street known as Emerald Lane.
Thank you. Accept the motion, please, at this time. Alderwoman Gould, second, Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderwoman Berto? Yes. Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 6 is adopted 6-0.
Number 7, relative to participation in a cost-sharing program with the City of Norwich to construct concrete sidewalks.
Thank you. A motion, please. Alderman Singh, second. Alderman Grant Neuendorf. Is there discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderwoman Berto.
Yes.
Alderman Singh.
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould.
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf.
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom.
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 7 is adopted 6-0.
Number 8, relative authorizing the city manager to accept the challenge grant and execute a conveyance for 337 through 341 Main Street, 12 through 20 Erin and White Street, 12 White Street, 14, 16, 18 White Street, and 20 White Street.
Thank you. A motion at this time. Alderwoman Gould, second. Alderman Singh. Is there discussion? Just for the edification of those who are here, this is needed in order to bring to fruition the development of the YMCA property. All of this is related. This is a good day. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Berto.
Yes.
Alderman Singh.
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould.
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf.
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom.
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 8 is adopted 6-0.
Number 9, relative to amend the protocols and procedures for the appointment, reappointment subcommittee of the council.
Thank you. A motion to bring this to the floor. Alderwoman Berto, second. Alderwoman Gould. Is there discussion? President Pro Tem.
This resolution is just a modification of an existing resolution. Alderwoman Gould and I both serve on this committee along with Alderwoman Berto, and we made one change to number 2 just so that we would ensure that all applicants for boards, commissions, and committees be interviewed, but to streamline the process of reappointing current sitting members of our boards, commissions, and committees.
Thank you, sir. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderwoman Berto.
Yes.
Alderman Singh.
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould, sorry.
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf.
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom.
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 10 is adopted 6-0.
9.
I'm 9, excuse me.
That's okay.
Jumped ahead.
Number 10, relative to reappointments and appointments as regular members to the Community Development Advisory Committee.
Thank you. A motion, please, for Resolution 10. Alderwoman Gould, second, please. Alderwoman Berto. Is there discussion? President Pro Tem.
I would just like to thank the current members and the new members for being willing to serve on this advisory committee. This is a very important function, especially at this time of the year, and we appreciate their volunteerism and their dedication.
Thank you, sir. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderwoman Berto.
Yes.
Alderman Singh.
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould.
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf.
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia.
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom.
Yes.
6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 10 is adopted 6-0.
Number 11, relative to a reappointment to the Board of Public Utility Commissioners and Sewer Authority.
Thank you. Move the resolution, please. Alderwoman Gould, second. Grant Neuendorf. Is there discussion? Alderwoman Gould.
It is my distinct pleasure to lend my support to resolution number 11. Robert Staley has been an excellent commissioner, done tremendous work on the Utilities Commission and Sewer Authority, and will continue to do so for 5 more years. He was an excellent choice when we made it 8 years ago? 6? Seems like 8. And look forward to him serving for 5 more years. So thank you for your willingness to serve.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? President Pro Tem.
I echo Alderwoman Gould's comments, and as Bob knows, I enjoy our lengthy conversations on matters involving the utilities, and I'm pleased to help make this appointment because there is much work left to be done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Alderwoman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
6-0. Number 12,
Thank you. The resolution is adopted,
Oops,
6-0.
I apologize.
That's okay.
Number 12, relative to reappointments and an alternate appointment to the Commission on the City Plan.
Thank you. At this time, I ask for a motion. Alderwoman Gould, is there a second? Alderman Grant Neuendorf, is there discussion? Alderwoman Gould.
I'll speak for the committee and just thank the members that we are reappointing tonight, and to thank Dean Nason, who is a new member. He will be appointed as an alternate. Again, we need volunteers in the city of Norwich. The Commission on the City Plan does vital work here, and it's nice to see that we have a full commission for Deanna and the others to work with.
Thank you. Is there further discussion? Seeing none, roll call.
Alderwoman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 12 is adopted, 6-0. Motion.
I
Alderwoman
hereby
Gould.
move pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, Section 1-200, subsection 6, that the members of the Norwich City Council go into an executive session for the purpose of discussing the acquisition or disposition of real estate or interest in real estate when publicly regarding the site and the acquisition or disposition of interest in the same would adversely impact the price of the same, to review preliminary drafts of proposals pertaining to the use of the properties, and to review commercial or financial information given in confidence not required by statute, the council having determined that the public interest in holding such discussions in executive session clearly outweighs the public interest in disclosure at this time. City Manager John Salamone, Director of Planning and Neighborhood Services Deanna Rhodes, Director of Public Works Patrick McLaughlin, Police Chief Patrick Daly, President of the Norwich Community Development Corporation Kevin Brown, and Corporation Counsel Michael Driscoll shall be asked to participate during all or a portion of this executive session at the request of the City Council.
Thank you. Is there a second to the motion? Alderman Singh. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Alderwoman Berto?
Yes.
Alderman Singh?
Yes.
Alderwoman Gould?
Yes.
Alderman Neuendorf?
Yes.
President Pro Tem DeLucia?
Yes.
Mayor Nystrom?
Yes.
That's 6-0.
Motion to go in executive session passes 6-0. Council, come back to order. Let the record show that no votes were taken in executive session tonight. May I have a motion to return, please? Alderman Berto, second Alderman Singh. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to adjourn. Alderwoman Gould, second Alderwoman Berto. Berto.
Yes.
Singh.
Yes.
Gould.
Yes.
Neuendorf.
Yes.
DeLucia.
Yes.
Nystrom, yes. Motion passes to adjourn 6-0. Thank you and good night.
Thank you.